Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you get value for everything you learn here in my channel. If you are a new subscriber, you are highly welcome. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much. God bless you. I am going to be teaching us how to take body measurements. So one thing about measurement is people just place little value on taking body measurements, but they do not know that whatever this they prove, whatever they get by themselves from taking body measurements is what will determine the outcome of whatever they are trying to make. So you have to learn how to take perfect and accurate measurement of your body to get a good result. So here is my tape measurement that we're going to be making use of. And I'm going to be using this to explain how to take body measurements for gown, for skirts. So I'll be explaining how to take a body measurement for gown and for skirts. So you see this tape rule I'm making use. I'm using this because this is the available rope I have. I'm going to be tying it round my waist like so. Let me just put this here. I'm going to be tying it around my waist like so. So in fashion designing, we have what we call true waistline. Your true waistline is not here. This is just like your actual waistline. Your true waistline is around here. So I'm going to be explaining how to get your true waistline. So you are going to tie your rope round your waist like so. Let me just put this at the side. Let it be tight, but not too tight. We just need this to be a guideline for us to know where our true waistline is. So afterwards, I'm going to look for where my navel is. So this is my navel. From the navel, I'm going to measure 2 inches upwards. So here's the 2 inches. I'll place it on my navel and I'll measure it upwards. So wherever the 2 inches stops is where the true waistline should be. So you know when you try to look for where your half length is, let me just use that language. I'm trying to use terms that everyone will be familiar with. When you say half length waistline, where is your half length or where is the waistline? This is where the waistline or the half length is 2 inches from your navel. 2 inches from your navel, you come upward 2 inches. Let me check it well so I won't be explaining wrongly to you. This is my navel and I came up by 2 inches. So where this rope, this yellow one is my true waistline, as you can see. So I'll try to make sure that the rope is tied firmly. It has to be firm because our front half length is a bit different from the back half length. So when you are drafting patterns like patterns that is with bust dart method, you make use of a different, like your front waistline is different from the back waistline. But when you're just drafting a pattern with just waist that, you can use same waistline for the front and the back. So I'll drop videos on how to draft patterns, how to draft basic bodies with a normal waistline, just waist dart and with bust dart method. So now that we've gotten the true waistline, which is 2 inches from the navel, from my navel. On your navel, just look for your navel, then come up by 2 inches. Wherever it is where you should tie this rope at. So now we have what we call vertical measurement and horizontal measurement. The body of human is derived from, as in to get the shape of it, to put it on clothes, we must get a vertical measurement and horizontal measurement. The vertical measurement is like a guideline to know the point where you will put the horizontal. Like it's on that vertical measurement, you'll be able to know that okay, this is the point the round bust will be. This is the point the round waist will be. This is the point the round hip will be. But if you do not get your vertical measurements right, your horizontal measurement will be placed in the wrong place. Like it will be placed in the wrong location. So you need to get your vertical measurements before your horizontal measurements. And to start with, I'll be starting with my length. The first thing I'm going to be working with is my bust point. So to place your tape rule, this part, the nape of your neck here, this part where your neck starts from here is where you place your tape rule. Please do not push it in too deep, just outside here. And also when you're trying to take measurement for yourself or people, wear clothes that hug their body, clothes that won't add any extra inch on the body. Wear clothes that we hug. That's why I have to wear something that it is smart. You can't be, though you can still professionally know how to work on it, but when you're trying to take measurements for someone who is wearing boo, one way or other, a little, some few inches might have been added. So you place the tape rule at the nape of the neck like so, and you try to locate your bust point. It's also called nipple point. My bust point is 12 inches, as you can see. So here is my bust point. Your bust point is that place that is pointy on the breast area. Like there's always a part that is looking more full and pointy. So that place is your bust point. So when you're sewing a cloth that has bustier, as in that is going to require cup, tell your client to wear an underwear that will pack them well, like a brazier that will pack them well, so that it will give a perfect result. So this is the bust point, as you can see. Then still putting my tape rule at my neckline like so. I'll try to measure my under bust. Under bust is where your breast stops at. There's always a beginning. This is the over bust. This place that the breast starts from is called over bust, and this place that the breast stops at is called the under bust. So over bust, this part that is looking like a beginning of the breast is the over bust, and this part that the breast stops at is the under bust. So firstly, I will measure my bust point, which is the first measurement to get, then my under bust measurement. Then from there, I will just place my tape rule at, you can see that even when the tape rule was falling off, I just made sure that the point where I needed was still intact. So then the next thing for me to do is to use my tape rule to look for where my this rope stops at. Then I'll get my half length. So my half length is 18.5 inches. Let us measure again. So you measure whatever you get. Remember, I'm a plus size, so whatever works for me might not be the same with yours. So this is my bust point, my under bust point, and my waistline or half length. So where this rope is where your waistline is, which is 18.5. The next thing to measure is your length. So it can be your gown length, your short gown, long gown. So from this part, I'll look at the way I'm aligning my tape rule. So after that, I'll try to look for where my gown length. You measure the gown length. So you maybe it's for the nail, you measure it what you need to get. And if it's for the skirt, this is also an arc. You can just place your tape rule like so. I didn't mean it is a long skirt you are trying to make. Then you step on the tape rule. So that way you'll be able to know where it is. When after you bend, after you step, like when you bend, you'll be able to know the length. Most times I use 58, and this is it, I got 58. So it works well. And also when you're trying to measure certain kind of gown, for flowing gown, your tape rule should touch the floor. You are not measuring the body, your tape rule should touch the floor. Tape measure should touch the floor for flowing gown. For straight gown, you can still let it to stop at your ankle. For straight gown, if you are sewing a straight gown, your ankle is like the bust of the stop where the long straight gown should stop at. And there's some straight gown that can also touch the floor. But when you're making flowing gown like A-line, fish mermaid skirt gown, and maybe 6 pieces gown, you should touch the floor, except if you do not want it to be too long. So after that now, another thing to measure is the sleeve length. Remember, I'm still working around vertical measurement. So the next thing to measure is the sleeve length. So wherever you want your sleeve length to be, this part, there's a part, our body, for you to know where your sleeve will start from, look at the way I'm doing my hand. Like there's a part you feel a joint, that joint, where that joint is, where you're feeling that joint, is where your sleeve starts from. That's where your back stops at, your shoulder rather. Your shoulder stops at, and that's where your hand starts from. So that is where you measure the sleeve length from. And in measuring sleeve length, you have to place it and do your hand like so. So at your elbow, you flow your elbow, make your elbow flow into it, and you measure what you got. And if it's for short sleeve, you will measure. So you also need your elbow length and the wrist length. So that's been done. We are going to move into the horizontal measurement. So now the next thing for us to work on is the shoulder measurement rather. And to get the shoulder measurement, you are going to turn like so, and you place your tape measurement. I told you that this part, like there's a part on the body, there's a part that you feel like a joint that is separating, that this hand is connecting into the shoulder. So that point is like a point. I don't know how to put it, but that joint is where your shoulder starts from. So you place your tape, and please try to make sure that your tape is straight and firm. You notice I flip my hair. So if there's anything that can add any extra inches to it, you try to move it away, like my hair. Or at times you can even just use the clothes you are wearing, though sometimes it can be misleading. But just use the shoulder I told you about. So this is me trying to place it on my shoulder. And here it is. This is me placing on my shoulder. And I have 16 inches here, which is my shoulder measurement. And the next thing now is the round bust. And to get that, you also have to, let me first show you how it should look like at the back. Most people make mistake of making their tape look like this at the back, which is very wrong. Your round bust must be straight. It has to be, the tape must be straight on the back. I think it is, the tape has twisted a bit. So it has to be straight on the back, as you can see. Look at the way my back looks like. It has to be straight, not it coming down like this. So let me place it up like this. That's how it should look like at the back when you're trying to measure your round bust. So on that fullest part, that place that your bust looks like it is full, putting one finger, just a finger inside, then you try to align it and you try to move it freely like this, as you can see. So this is me moving it freely and I'll measure my round bust. The next thing is the round under bust. So look at it. Look at my under bust at the back. It is on the line that my under bust should be. So that is it. Then this is the round under bust, how it should look like. Then the round waist also, you measure your round waist, putting one finger inside. Please, round measurement, a finger should be inside, and at times you can move it freely to know how tight or how firm you want it to look like. Some people want their clothes to be very firm, while some want it to have a bit of ease, so you'll be able to release it. So please try to play around your tape rule. Tape measurement is not hard to work with, but if you do not practice, it will look a bit inconvenient. You can see that the tape was not falling off my hand. So when you practice it on yourself, it will be easy for you to be able to take measurements. If you have any question, please do not forget to ask in the comment section. So here is my round waist. So here's my round waist. Now for the round hip, I'm going to put my leg together like this, not too firm, or just right. You don't take people round hip when their leg is spread out like so, or when they are standing, when they are not standing right. You tell them to please stand firm. Please, all these things matters. You see, as small as all those little things are, it is to add inches to the body. It adds some unnecessary measurements to the body, and it won't give you that fit you want. So even if your client is trying to, you just please politely tell them to stand well, and they should try to place their leg like this. It's not like too close, or just like so that we can feel the physique. You can see the physique well. Then placing my tape rule round my hip. The hip area, to know where your hip area is, from your true waistline. Please, my tape rule has shifted, so I want to check it again. From your true waistline here, it's part of the vertical measurement. You try to place your tape rule on this part, on from your true waistline, and you measure that your your hip. So for some people it can be 8 inches, some it can be 9. Mine is 8. Also, if you do not get it, what I am talking about, you knowing the distance from the waist to where your hip is, where your bum bum, the most pointy part of your bum bum is, that part, just try to look at it round to the side of your body. That part, it is the hip. So look at my bum bum now. Like if I check the most pointy part of it, by the time I bring it to the front, this is my hip area. This is my hip area. So now I'm also going to put my leg together, then putting one finger inside like so. I'll try to move my tattoo round to see if it's comfortable for me. Then I'll measure my hip I'll take my hip measurement. Also, though I do not make use of this, but I see people taking measurement of it. And one of the things I also advise people that just make sure you have enough measurements. Take measurements. I'm someone that even if I don't need it, I'll still take the measurement, because at times it helps you, it saves you from having errors around calculation. And this is what I'm talking about, the rounding. So you also you also place your leg like so, or tell your client to place their leg like so, and you measure the round knee. But also we have calculations around round knee. There's you can subtract 1 inch. When you are drafting your paper, your pattern is on fold. So you can subtract 1 inch or 1.5 inch or 2 inches, depending on how pencil you want your clothes should be to get the round knee. So here it is. This is the round knee. So you just try and you can just check. You can see the way I'm checking to see if it's comfortable for me. So here's the round knee. And also one thing I forgot to say earlier when I was talking about the vertical measurement is skirt measurement. For high waist skirt, this is should be something somewhere around here. But if it's for a normal waist skirt length, it is from this part, from this your actual waistline. That's why I say we have true waistline and actual waistline. You measure it. The next thing for me to take measurement of after the round knee is the round sleeve measurement. So remember we've taken the length of our sleeve and the next is the round sleeve. So our sleeve it is divided into three. This part, this upper part, this part that looks thick is called the bicep. While this place is the round elbow and this part is called the round wrist. So to get your round bicep, you wrap your tape rule round it like so. Then remember to put one finger in it, just one finger. Then you measure. You can even add your ease to know whatever, depending on what you have in mind to measure. Then for the round elbow, you measure. I have two ways of measuring my round elbow. And the first is I'll first measure. The first one is I'll first measure like so, putting one finger in it. Then I'll now stretch my elbow like this. Remember, when you stretch your elbow, it tends to add extra. So if you just use these measurements to draft, believe me, this part will be tight on the sleeve. That's why you see most people say they don't like long sleeve because of it is always tight on this area. So you also measure this part on the round elbow. You measure this part also. So when you measure this part, you compare and contrast when you are drafting. Then also for the round wrist, this is the wrist area. That is if you are drafting a long sleeve pattern. You measure this part of the round wrist like so, putting one finger in, then you can add your wrist. Then also you come to this part and you measure it. So if you are working with a stretchy material, this part is okay. Whatever you get is it will work because your hand will the clothes will stretch when you dip your hand. But when you are working with a non-stretchy material, work with this part of the round wrist on your sleeve. Now, also this extra is for those who are working on an off-shoulder dress. If you are trying to draft an off-shoulder bustier, a dress or anything, something, anything around off shoulder, you need your across chest, or it's also called the strap to strap measurement. And what is it about? You trying to know where this, like this part of your, like where your armhole starts from, or you can also use where your bra, you are wearing a brazier, where the strap of the bra is. But if you do not wear, just look for where the armhole starts from, that point where the armhole starts from. You place your tape on it, then you place it to the next part where the armhole starts from. You do the same thing at the back also. Where my armhole starts from at the back, I'll measure it. As you can see, it can be a bit inconvenient, but you just have to measure it. Then also we have what we call the round shoulder. You need this when you are trying to determine your off shoulder sleeve. So you need your round shoulder also when you are trying to draft a sleeve for off shoulder dress. So you measure it firmly. It shouldn't be too tight so that your hand will not be clamped, but it has to still be firm. Not shrinking your body, but it should be firm because you don't want your off shoulder to be falling off. So this is you the right if you want to try to if you want to draft a sleeve, an off shoulder sleeve. So that's being said, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed and you learned something new. See you in my next one. Please do not forget to watch this video, like, subscribe to my channel, and also comment in the comment section. I'll surely reply you. Thank you and see you in my next video. Until then, keep winning.